All right, everyone, we are live. I am going to try to figure out once again how to share my screen. Haven't done this in a while. Need to pick a tab. Here we go. All right, so we're just going to run some battle royales. We're going to see how this goes. Last time I streamed for 45 minutes, and I don't think anybody joined. Uh-oh, location error. Oh, this stream is off to a rousing start. I think this happened last time. I don't know because I haven't watched it again because it was pretty bad. Let's see if that fixed it. We are back. All right. Here we go, everyone. See if we can get any viewers this time. That would be awesome if we could. If I actually get viewers, we'll do the grand face reveal. But until then, it's we're gonna pass on that. All right, we got the third spot. Now this week in Battle Royale, and again, last time I said I was going to figure out how to play music, and I didn't do that. So once again, there's going to be awkward silence or just me talking the whole time. But here we go. This week, it's sort of like at the wide receiver position, you really have Justin Jefferson, and then it's kind of a mess, right? Garrett Wilson is the number 2. It's pretty brutal with now target competition. It's a good matchup, but there's going to be weeks where Garrett Wilson is you got to, I mean, not scroll down, but he's not going to be the number 2 receiver probably again this year, barring some massive offensive explosion from the Jets. So it's really Justin Jefferson, and then kind of a choose your own adventure. Really hard for me to click CeeDee Lamb this week. Like he's almost a cross off. So Barkley, Jefferson, and then I think for me, Kamara is a clear number 3. I think you could argue for Jefferson 1. I think a lot of content creators have. I got no problem there. I think Saquon Barkley is going to smash, though. I mean, Dallas is in kind of shambles. Barkley has 30-point upside. I think he's had that three weeks of the year. So it's really hard for me to get away from Barkley at the 101, but Jefferson being head and shoulders above the other receivers is fine. But again, on Underdog, half PPR, I feel like the wide receivers, they can end up a little condensed. And if it's a Aaron Jones week, then it's Jefferson is just not going to pay off. And speaking of Aaron Jones, that's my preferred play. I really like Josh Allen this week. Part of me wants to take Allen here. I think Allen is the way I'm going to be going in DraftKings. I have a lot of Allen teams already. So I'm going to take Jones, and we're done at running back, Kamara and Jones. I mean, these could be the 1-2 at receiver. And the other thing about passing on Allen is sometimes he just falls. Like if you're not a Josh Allen guy, if you have a stack in mind, you can see these elite quarterbacks drop. So there's a world I get him anyway. Assuming I don't, Kittle's fine. There's an argument to be made that you should take at least one Niner. Their team total is very high. But with McCaffrey coming back, is Kittle going to keep that same workload? It's hard to say. Okay, so unfortunately, Allen does go. It's a little brutal. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm going to take Debo because, again, he's a guy who he'll have those weeks where you need him and he just wins. And I'm not really enamored with any of these choices. I don't think I want to get too cute with my first receiver pick. So no problem there. I'm not a big Debo Samuel guy, to be completely candid with you. He has that little bit of Waddle streak to him where he'll just like get hurt and leave when you need him. And if Tampa's getting blown out, is Debo going to be playing in the fourth quarter? No. But obviously there's the corollary. Well, if they're blowing Tampa out, they had to get there somehow. So we'll see. Don't hate Samuel. Again, I think Kittle there would have been fine. I think if you want to build out a story with other receivers, I think that's fine. tight end is pretty deep, right? I mean, Kels, Otten, McBride, Hill, Kincaid, Ingram. These guys are all fine. Like I don't feel the need to take the elite tight end. I think if I was doing 150 maxing this week, which I'm not, I would sprinkle some of the higher end tight ends. Let's see who did go. No, Kittle's the first one off. So again, like it's so flat. That I don't feel the need to run there, but I don't want no Kittle if I'm playing like 20 or more lineups. So here we are. Jaden Daniels falls. I like Jaden Daniels a lot this week. I really would have probably taken D-Hop if he was there. It's just this is so ugly. You can do the lad Herbert thing, but I'm just gonna take Daniels because he's ceiling. If you look at the projections, him and Purdy are about equal median, but Daniels just has the ceiling of being a complete slate breaker. The matchup doesn't really scare me, right? Because he can get there on the ground. He can get there through the air. He breaks off a big run. He can get there in one play. So I'm not too concerned. He's the kind of guy where you could see him getting bottled up for 3 quarters and then come back and somehow he has 28 fantasy points. So I like Daniels there. I don't think you need to stack him with McLaurin. I actually have a guy I quite like, and that's Noah Brown. I don't know if I want this to be the Noah Brown team, though. So we will think about it. I've already done a couple Daniels Brown teams. Let's see. Is anyone doing anything truly odd? Like Naked Purdy's a little weird, right? Like, did he take it because he thought I was going to want him to pair with Samuel? I don't know. People do weird stuff. People can get very PvP in these. I really like Dalton Kincaid this week. I also really like Taysom Hill. I'm going to just let this be a Kincaid team, I think. Coleman is out. Cooper is a little bit banged up. Indy is really not very good against tight ends. So that's, to me, it makes sense. Looking back at the viewer count, 8 minutes in, no viewers. That is okay because we are getting a little practice in. One day maybe we will take off, but obviously we're not taking off today. All right, so with that said, let's see. Who do we want to close this out? I think I have to take a running back or a receiver. Man, Drake London. If Drake London's really good to go, let's lock him in. I think Josh Downs is fine. But we're going to get Drake London. I'm going to turn on autopilot and let's rip another one. We don't need to watch us draft Drake London because he can't take another receiver. Now I'm nervous that I messed that up and he can. Did I see that wrong? Uh-oh. Team fall. Let's hope. Well, I think I got him. I think I saw that right. Oh, I'm in a stream with Davis Maddock, one of my favorite content creators. And let's see what Davis is up to. I'm actually in Davis's Discord. I'll tell him I'm streaming. See if he cares. Yeah. Davis, Peter Overzet, just some of the best content creators out there. Really impressed with what they do. Just doing this for 10 minutes, you realize how hard it is to keep people entertained. I'm typing in the Discord. See, I'm not very good at this. All right, so we see Saquon go, Jefferson go. See, this is tough because I don't really like 4 because CMC is who the ADP wants you to take. I don't love that, but then again, it's we'll just take McCaffrey because I don't want 0 McCaffrey this week. All right, we'll take McCaffrey. Let's hope that his workload is what we want it to be. Again, like with the concerns about Deebo and Kittle, we could see ourselves with a little bit of blowout risk, but that's okay. Davis here goes the Bijan and Deebo route. All right, strong start there. Now, do I want Breece Hall? Falls a little bit. I think we'll just not overthink it here, and we'll take the falling ADP value. And once again, we've gone running back. All right. We are 11 minutes in. No viewers. That's okay. One day the algo will favor us and we will get a viewer. But until then, we grind on. All right, again, see, this is why I need the music, because the silence is absolutely brutal. Could I play like royalty-free music on my phone and do it? Like there's got to be a better way than this. This is a tough scene. All right, 2 picks away. Jonathan Taylor goes off. The elite quarterbacks, again, Josh Allen falls. This guy has Hurts. I bet he has Brown or someone like that. Nope, he just likes Jalen Hurts. That's understandable. The Eagles heavily favored against the Cowboys, and there Brown goes. So he does build that stack. He just took Hurts first, which makes sense because you could partner him with Devontae later if he did get sniped on Brown, or just play him naked, which I think is fine this week. All right, if I can get Josh Allen here, I'm just going to do it. If not, again, all right, we're just going to take Allen here, which is awesome. Really like Josh Allen. Think he has huge upside. Spoilers, probably going to take Kincaid here. And all right, here we go. All right, Hopkins goes, which I feel like Davis probably would have taken with his affinity for the Chiefs, and also just that Hopkins is a great play. He absolutely smashed last week, very involved in the offense, makes a ton of sense. Davis here with Bijan and Deebo. All right, I might get a viewer in here, which is terrifying. All right, let's see who we're going to take. Ugh. I would love to take Hunt, but I can't. This is so brutal. I mean, I could do this. I could make this team that half of America is going to do. Take Josh Downs. Excuse me. Oh God. All right. All right. Let me see if I can share this link. Let me see if this works. Oh, got to accept me as a friend before I could DM the link. But that's okay. That's okay. I probably should have plugged in my second monitor for this as well. But frankly, I didn't think it was even going to work. So here we go. CD Lamb goes. I wish I could say I liked that as a sort of punt play, right? Like you're not going to be able to get CD Lamb in the fourth round of most BRs, but you do this week because Cooper Rush is probably throwing him the ball, and that's not great. That's not great. But again, we continue. Let's see. How do we want to land this plane? This is just a Kincaid team. Now, it looks like nobody after me needs a tight end, so I should take the wide receiver I want before there. Unfortunately, it's like just pick whatever galaxy brain receiver you want. I like George Pickens there. And Washington's defense has been better, but if Washington, it seems like they are going to need to throw. Pittsburgh will. So I don't mind that. But again, I'll be a lot more disappointed if I don't get Kincaid than if I don't get whatever receiver du jour falls to me here. So we'll take Kincaid, and then I like Rome Odunze as a play, but then I don't really think I want to do a double stack, as tempting as that is. It's so hard to win a BR with a double stack, especially when a lot of the upside of Allen is his rushing. I like that more with like Joe Burrow the week that won, because if Joe Burrow gets there, he's probably not running into 2 touchdowns. Again, could Shakir and Allen be what you need? Yeah, but I prefer that in like a Dawg Bowl or a small field thing rather than the big BR. So Maddock does the stack I was talking about earlier, which is the Lad Herbert stack, which I think is a really strong play. So let's see if we can. I am pending invite. I might not actually get a viewer. That's okay. That's okay. We're 17 minutes in. He can't take a receiver. We're going to end this with Rome Odunze. We'll put on autopilot. And as they say, quote unquote, push the plane and move on. Run another one. Why are we not working? All right. Here we go. Another BR in the books. Still no viewers. It's still no viewers. All right. Gosh, it is so hard without music. It is so hard without music. My God. My God. Well, let us see. All right. All right, here we go. We got the 5th pick. It's funny, I've done 12 of these, and I feel like I've had like the first pick an inordinate amount of time. So I got a lot of Barkley teams, which I like. And so now I'm drafting at a part of the board I haven't drafted too much yet. But let us see. Let's see how we do. All right, here we go. And we're off. Don't recognize any of the names here, but again, we've got 5 out of 6 people have badges. Luke Big Shot has goat horns, which means he has won something at some point in time. Again, none of these things are necessarily mean people are good at this. It just means that they do it a lot, you myself included. But let's see. All right, CMC goes second. CMC is very polarizing. A lot of people, I think, somewhat rightly say that this is the chance to get CMC not at the 101. And all right, I'm just going to take Bijan. CMC is going to be the 101 most weeks, barring something weird, barring a bad matchup or injury concerns. So to be able to get him at like between 4 and 6 feels like a Gen Wealth opportunity to some. I feel like there's definitely more risk than usual. Is him falling to 4 enough sort of payment for that risk? It's hard to say. I'm just going to go to Aaron Jones because I personally think Aaron Jones is a giga smash. He's just been getting all the opportunity. And I think it's nice leverage to have against the Jefferson people. So we will see what we will see here. All right. Here we go. 3 picks away. Kittle, Taylor, Debo, Lamb all go. So again, the Niner pieces are very popular this week. Everyone sort of wants a little bit of that game. We are back in this brutal spot. I need to stop going running back, because I get here and I'm just like really out of sorts. I think I'm just going to take some Travis Kelce. I know I said, I'm happy with the late tight ends, which is true, but I also don't want to end with zero Kelce or 0 Otten. And I also feel like the late wide receivers, there's some good options. Like we saw, you can take Lad McConkey late. Darnell Mooney makes a certain amount of sense. It seems like Drake London's good to go, but you never know. Again, back in this just brutal spot. It's like I feel like by default I kind of want to take Jaden Daniels. I'm just going to take Jaden Daniels because I don't know what else to do. This is probably a leak because you get in these spots and you sort of take your comfy clicks. And for me, there is no click comfier than a quarterback who could just easily finish QB1 on the slate. So no problem taking Daniels. I should get a little more creative. I should set up some later stacks. But right now we're not going to do that. We're just going to take Jaden Daniels. All right. So Brock Purdy goes to the CMC drafter. This is one of those maneuvers that works sometimes because CMC can be so involved in the passing game. It also is such a big brain maneuver. Like people love doing that because it just seems so smart, right? Like normal wisdom is don't play your quarterback and running back together because they're usually not positively correlated. But then you can be like, wow, actually, and then when it does work, you feel like giga smart. I'm going to take George Pickens because if I don't even know if I want McLaurin. I'm just gonna make this really vanilla team. Like this is such a vanilla team. This is probably duped. This is not exciting. But I like it. It might be what you need, right? Like I want to say, I'll play Noah Brown over Terry McLaurin, right? I really like Noah Brown on DraftKings this week. But yeah, he might outscore Terry McLaurin. But if they were the same price on DraftKings, would I play McLaurin over Brown? No. Now, it's not the same thing in BR, right? Because Noah Brown's going to be, 5% drafted, and Terry McLaurin's going to be probably well over 50% or somewhere thereabouts. So it's not the same thing. If I was doing 150, would I make this exact team and then have a Noah Brown version? Probably. And maybe, if things fall this way, I'll end up with a team like that. But happy with this team. I really do like Terry McLaurin. He's really coming into his own this year. So no problem doing that. And let us get in another. Let's get in another and see how it goes. All right. All right. I need to stop making that noise. I'm sure that's not helping my viewership. All right. Waiting for 2. We are 25 minutes into the stream. And we'll see how we go. Oh my God. And this time, Peter Overzet's in the room with me. Very exciting. The legend himself. Pete, he finished second to the BR last week. He is an absolute crusher. He is the king of content. So always fun when you're drafting with some of these really elite players, and just kind of see what they do. And sometimes you make a lineup and it's similar to theirs, and it's comforting, right? You're like, I can do this. If I made this team and it's very similar to that team that someone who does this for a living or produces content for a living, and it can be very motivating. So I like to see, I like to be in these rooms, and it sometimes can give you ideas, right? Like, being in Davis's room and seeing him do the Lad Herbert thing. Like that's a cool stack. Now, it was one I was in on before, but it's an example of something that you're not going to see in every room, but does make sense. All right, so here we go with Saquon first, then Jefferson. Mr. E. White. We got 2 out of 6 people with goat horns. So got to think this is a pretty experienced room. Oh my God, my first ever viewer. Welcome. I see you in here. Thank you, whoever you are. All right, now I'm nervous. Someone is listening. So here we go. All right, so Kamara goes third, followed by CMC. Let's see what Pete does. This is a pretty standard start to a room. I said I was going to try to not go double running back this time, but maybe forced into it if he takes Garrett Wilson, because I do think Garrett Wilson is sort of the last big wide receiver I feel really comfortable playing. We got Pete taking Bijan. So obviously I don't want to take Bijan and Garrett Wilson. That seems really bad. So we'll do a Wilson and Aaron Jones start here. All right. So yeah, I like Aaron Jones this week. As I said before, it gives you a little bit of leverage off of the Jefferson people. There's a pretty good chance that Minnesota has their way offensively with the Jags. So I do want some part of that if I have access to it. And Aaron Jones, I think, is a pretty good option. All right, Breece Hall goes next. So Peter goes double running back, which you're really almost forced to up at this top end. It just gets so uncomfortable as the drafts go on, and it makes sense to have in your mind a sort of list of late round stacks, your Lad Herbert stacks, your Odunze, your Odunze stacks. Boy, this is, I've never forget people's name, and then I get one viewer. Yeah, Caleb Williams. See, I'm like forgetting the 101's name. Clay, how's it going? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. You are the first ever chat in here, so thanks so much for joining. Yeah, so having like a Caleb Odunze stack in mind, having a Lad Herbert stack in mind, makes sense for sort of diversifying your player pool a bit, and is a good way to also keep these fresh while you're doing them. Let's see, we have Pete took Hall, CD Lamb goes it's really tough for me to click Lamb this week with Cooper Rush throwing him the ball. And it seemed like Lamb might miss this week. So things could really fall apart for Dallas. So it's, Lamb being a fade for me. Clay, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you finding this. I'm being asked in the Discord, no face cam. Eventually I will. It's for two viewers. It is hard for me to justify my doxing. But I promise one day, if I don't want to set a number, because I might, if I hit it, then I got to do it. So here I am. I'm up. I've wanted some Kareem Hunt. He could be, a really strong, if somewhat boring play this week. And then I'll just, I'll take the K Dotton here. This is not the most exciting team I've ever built, but it's these are all good plays, right? And sometimes you just gotta play the best plays. But what I've left myself open here is a wide receiver and a quarterback, and sitting here on the turn, I can sort of plan ahead on who I want. So I can do the I could potentially do that Caleb Odunze team, which I mentioned before, and I kind of like, and I don't have any of. So we can see how that goes. That said, if somehow Daniels McLaurin falls to me, it's going to be hard to justify skipping that. So we'll see. I kind of hope that decision is made for me. Okay, there we go. There goes Daniels. It's so hard for me if I'm in the 6th round to not take Daniels if he falls. Could I take, Aaron Rodgers here for Wilson? Sure. I'm not a big Aaron Rodgers, guy. So I can't quite push the plane because Pete still has to draft a quarterback. Pete with Ladd, I would bet Pete takes Herbert here. That feels like a real. That feels like what he's going to do. Let's see what he does. Or maybe he won't, because he knows I won't take Herbert, and he'll take. We'll see. We shall see. Oh, I lost one of my viewers. Devastating. That's okay. I still got one. All right, so he takes Kyle Pitts, and I will take Caleb and Odunze, and we are rolling. We are rolling. All right, let's fire up one more. Oh, gotta click confirm. All right. And we are off again. So seeing N Brown in here just makes me want to do my really fancy Daniels Noah Brown stack. So we'll see, but maybe that'll be the plan ahead of time if we end up with Daniels falling to us again. I will never forget the time I was in I think it was a big board draft, and I had Hill and Waddle, and I tried to push Tua around the turn and realized the guy at the turn's name was Tua Stan, and it was not good. He took Tua just naked with no hope, and so we'll see if no N Brown is actually a big Noah Brown truther. So maybe we'll have to see if we get lucky there. All right, we got 5 seconds to this draft starting. This probably will be my last draft. But again, Clay, really appreciate you in here. Humble beginnings, but we will see what happens. All right, Justin Jefferson goes first. See what N Brown does. And Brown taking the clock to 0-0 like Aaron Rodgers. See what he does. He takes Kamara. So we get Saquon at 3, which I really like. Because I think if Jefferson wasn't the only really high end receiver without question, I think Saquon would be the clear 101. I'm still taking him 101 if I get the spot because I do see paths to failure for Jefferson. Um, but I see Barkley as sort of a tier above everyone else with just the workload he's getting in the matchup. But so a few names I recognize. I've definitely been in a lot of rooms with more. So we continue. So wow, that is really early for Kareem Hunt to go. Kind of odd to see that. Now, do we want this to be another Garrett Wilson team? I got no problem there. I got no problem there. Might be, I don't want to say unique, but it could be a little difficult to get if for the teams picking Barkley at 1, Wilson more often than not won't be there. Not that this is going to be a particularly rare combo, but the early rounds, I don't mind grabbing that ADP value. Yeah, thank you, Offsuit. I appreciate it, and thank you for finding this. Awesome that you're here, and yeah, it's fun. I know. This is just. I've always wanted to stream my drafts just to see how I do. So thank you for being a part of this. Appreciate it. All right, N Brown. So let's see what happened to the. What did the Kareem Hunt guy do? Was he just being really squirrely? No, he took AJ Brown then Hunt, which isn't crazy. I mean, there's a chance if he takes Brown that Hunt's not there at 18. Oh, it's my turn. Not great. No, it's not. I just don't know how to read the board. Okay. I think I would take Josh Allen if he falls to me, and he will because he already has a quarterback. So let's just take Allen. All right. I like this team. I think Josh Allen will be the number 1 scorer this week. That's not really going on too much of a limb, but we're seeing a little ADP value in this team. So this is starting to be a don't drop the baby, kind of just build a team with ADP value rather than some crazy scroll down options. So I think my tight end is probably going to be Kincaid. Probably take that with the second to last pick, but we will see. Again, if Jonathan Taylor doesn't go here, he'll fall to me, and he will because these guys both have 2 running backs. So this is pretty cool. This is a pretty cool team. The question will be then, what other wide receiver do I want to pair on here? If I didn't get Jonathan Taylor, Josh Downs would make sense. We're going to have a decision to make there. Let's start seeing. I like Pickens. Drake London is said to be good to go. It's said that this is a pain tolerance issue. Yes, Offsuit, thank you. Yes, they're in the Take Cast, the best Discord out there, I have to say. It's a pretty good group, and it's always fun hanging with everyone. And so I didn't want to post a link in there because I don't ever want to try to seem like I'm leeching viewers. Not that I'm gonna leech anything from Davis, but I just I don't want to ever be that guy promoting himself somewhere else in someone else's channel, even if that means I have 2 viewers, two concurrent viewers. I still don't know who I am going to take here. It's tough. I know if you're reading the Underdog blurbs in mid draft, it's not, things are just not going well for you. Like you really need to know this information before you jump in here. Pittsburgh is pretty good against wide receiver ones, which makes me like not super excited to take McLaurin. I almost think I want to take Drake London. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to punt the decision again. I'm going to take Kincaid now, because if Kincaid gets taken by KM Ray, I'm going to be really disappointed, because I do want to pair him with Allen. Or you know what? Maybe I should have just taken Shakir and then whatever tight end. See, that was the answer. That was probably the answer, but it's not what we did. It's not what we did. We were kind of take locked, if you will, on Kincaid being the guy. So hopefully that doesn't burn us too badly. I think at the end of the day, I'm going to take Pickens here if he falls. And then if Pickens goes, then we'll take McLaurin. So yeah, I am Magikarp takes London. That's, I think that's a good pick. I think we're getting a big discount on London if he really is good to go. All right, well, Pickens goes. Yeah, I don't know if I play this optimally, but again, I did not want to take a receiver and end up without Kincaid if KM Murray took him. I said I'd be happy with whoever I ended up. I actually kind of lied. I'm a little disappointed. I don't think I want McLaurin. So you know what? We're going to take Ladd. Some secondary injuries mounting up for the Titans. I got a good feeling he could potentially PPR scam his way up. Offsuit, you ask a good question. That's why I like Kincaid this week. And I think I read that he like leads the league in, what's the word, like uncatchable targets or something. Like he's run bad. Like I know the Discord is totally out on him. But I got a feeling. And yeah, Shakir's the guy that needs to like make a house call on on some short A dot thing, which he can do, and he's had huge weeks. I'm actually going to be able to do another at least another one here. I said that was my last one, but I got a stay of execution. My kid is sleeping, and I'm watching him on the monitor, and I thought he was getting up, and he went back to sleep. So the show goes on. The show goes on. All right, this time we got the 6-hole, another draft with a Magikarp. I think I've been in rooms with Jordan Poole's Wish 69. Only a couple names I recognize here. I was also hoping to make it over 1 hour because Davis said like the algo likes that more than the like 1 hour streams. But we'll see. Really need to figure out how to make background music. Really need to figure out how to do that without just like propping my phone up next to the microphone, because that just seems really janky. And surely there is a better way. All right, Luke, big shots. All right, off and running. Justin Jefferson at the 101. It does seem like as we get to Sunday, there's going to be a flippening between him and Saquon, because I think most rooms I've been in, I feel like Jefferson is starting to go first. All right, here we go. Jefferson, Saquon, Kamara. I would really like Bijan over Brees. It's like I want to do something adventurous, but what? And I feel like if I take any of these guys, they're gonna be like paired with Saquon and Jefferson and other lineups, and I'm just gonna be just going to be buried. I'll stick with my Aaron Jones take. You know what? We'll do Allen and Jones. We'll take our guys. This is how I'm building in DraftKings. I don't mind starting with these two. I think Allen could really separate at the quarterback position this week. Although I suppose for content purposes, I should vary things a little more. Because nobody wants to watch someone construct the same team with a different the different round 6 pick. That just cannot be what the people want. And I say this as someone that does not know what the people want, but it's not that. All right, we see Debo, AJ Brown goes. You could get AJ Brown at a big discount early in the week. I think my first draft I did on like Tuesday or Wednesday, I got AJ Brown like autoed in the last round. And I remember being upset because I had Saquon on that team. So I kind of wish I didn't have Saquon on that team because that's, that could be a Jen Wells spot. Like nobody likes to hear, oh, the winning team's already been drafted. But if AJ Brown's who you need, the winning team may have already been drafted because it didn't look like he was going to play. And now he seems like he's just fine. Not that means you shouldn't draft him because again, with these draft formats, like it's really interesting how it differs from salary cap. Like things, you can kind of force yourself into these same builds, and is there really that big a difference between player 15 and player 25? Like not really, but we draft them like there is. So I say that somewhat facetiously that the winning team's already been drafted, but there are some combinations that just really just can't happen anymore. So we've got Allen and Jones. We're about to be up. I would love if Kittle fell to me because I do want some of that San Francisco if I can get it. And he is Last Chance Saloon. I think I would go Kittle Hunt if I could. If not, all right. Well, Hunt went, which is fine. All right, so we'll do this. We'll do Kittle Hopkins. So we get a little piece of Kansas City. We get George Kittle. And I like the way this is going. Might we end up with Shakir in the negative -A? Stay tuned. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't mind taking Allen naked as well. I thought for sure Cooper was out this week, and I'm seeing he might be in. Is he even being drafted? Where is he? He's in the you have to go way the heck down to find him, right? Or am I just... All right, not as far down as I thought. Regardless, I don't really like Cooper. If I'm trying to end with a stack, I don't want to end up with a late swap and something that's not a stack. It sort of, to me, defeats the purpose a little bit. But we'll see. See if we can do a Josh Downs. Who's here at running back late? Yeah, a lot of really good options. All of these guys on the screen here are in play. I'm not super into Ramondre. Austin Eckler, Robinson's out again, but they just don't seem to want to give him more than 10, 12 touches. So I think I'm out there. It's getting a little fancy. I think you could play a really Chico Rico Dowdle if you wanted to. All right. I do like Swift. I think Swift makes a ton of sense. And Drake London Redemption. Let's see. Yeah, offsuit. I thought that too. We're going to do Swift first. All right. I'm sorry. I hate to do this. We're going to make the stack. I'm going to be a coward. I'm going to say I need it and take Khalil Shakir. It's so embarrassing. Um, Imagine taking Khalil Shakir over Drake London and telling yourself that's good process. But but here we are. Let's do another. Let's put this one behind us because that just didn't feel good. That didn't feel like we constructed a winner. That um, all right. Yeah, I did one Dawg Bowl today, and my phone or my app froze in the middle of it, and I took two tight ends back to back. I took Kincaid and Taysom Hill back to back, and it was just not a good feeling. Just lighting $25 on fire, um, unless somehow that is what you need, which is just giga cope, because it is not what you need. That light up is worth $0. But here we are in the 6th seed. Again, I'm going to try to not take another Josh Allen team. That is my promise to you, dear viewer, because it's gonna get pretty old pretty fast here. All right. 12 seconds to start. We are 9 minutes away from the 1 hour mark, which is cool. Last time I did this for about 40 minutes. Nobody hopped in, which was fine. You know, I don't expect people to the algo to just put this in front of the people. I tried to make a thumbnail in Chat GPT, and it was a complete and utter failure. It was almost so bad it was good. But when Chat GPT gets in its head, it needs to like put text on a screen. I just don't understand why the spelling is just so wrong. Like what is it doing? Like it's got to know, right? I mean, this thing should be pretty well programmed, and then it'll spell underdog with like 3 D's in the middle of it. Like why? Like that's not great. All right, here we are. This is so brutal. I don't even like Breece Hall. You know what? They can't make me take Breece Hall. I'm not going to do it. Someone will get gifted that. Noah HR 23. Go with God. Take Breece Hall. That is my gift for you. All right, so we start off with, again, Aaron Jones and Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, I went to bed at the in that Jets game at halftime, and Garrett Wilson had done virtually nothing and woke up and he like broke the showdown slate, which I did not really see coming. There's times when adding a receiver helps kind of open up the field, and usually that's just like cope and not a real thing, it seems. But in this case, it might actually have unlocked something in that offense having Devontae Adams out there. There was also, I had this worry that Adams's familiarity with Adams was going to make him the sort of wide receiver one, but Garrett Wilson is so talented. And when you think about it, he hadn't really played with Rodgers that much. That last season got short circuited so early that they haven't really been together that long. So it's not surprising that they would gain some chemistry as the year goes on. It did feel a while though, like those Garrett Wilson best ball bags were in shambles, but now they're looking pretty good. So we'll see. And the Cardinals secondary is nothing to be afraid of. I do hate how Rodgers takes the play clock to 0-0. It is so tilting to watch, especially for a guy who thinks he's better than everyone else in the league, to then do something which means he gets the ball less. Like it's just so counterintuitive of it's just so counterintuitive of what you should do if you think you have an edge by limiting the game and limiting the play clock, that it just kind of boggles my mind. We are back up here. You know who I haven't taken much in VR, but I really do like is James Cook. I think he makes a lot of sense if you don't have Josh Allen. A little bit of Ray Davis fear, but I think Cook is still the main guy. So I'm going to take him, and then I will unimaginatively grab another D Hop share here. And so at quarterback, we finally have decisions to make of what we want to do. Could we get a Mahomes team? Yeah, this could definitely be a Mahomes team. I probably do want to, all right, I take all that back. If Jaden Daniels falls to me, I'm going to take Jaden Daniels. But assuming he does not, we're going to do Mahomes, and then we'll do Rodgers, and then figure out at tight end. It's so unimaginative, but I don't mind this Trey McBride as a bring back on the Garrett Wilson. I think Taysom Hill is great. I'm not going to take Kincaid when I have Cook here. Take Evan Ingram. So I got two people taking quarterback ahead of me. Let's see who they're likely to take if we look at his team. Josh Downs, George Kittle, Purdy's there. So I would guess he'll probably take Purdy. And then what would good old Noah do? I don't know what Noah's going to do because he's probably not taking Cooper Rush. I feel like Noah's going to just take Patrick Mahomes because that's like a really nice name to have. And this guy takes Jordan Addison instead of taking Brock Purdy, which is somewhat surprising to me. He must just, I mean, I don't mind Jordan Addison this week. I think that's fine, but I'd probably rather have completed the stack there. But let's see what Noah does. I'm curious. Let's see. Noah taking it down to the wire. He takes McLaurin. All right. We'll take Mahomes. We'll take Mahomes and we'll take McBride. And a solid team. Mahomes, Jones, Cook, Garrett Wilson, D Hop, and Trey McBride. Kind of being the gem guy with Mahomes, eventually it's going to work, right? Like we're going to get that 35-point week. And maybe this is the one. He's not being drafted 100% of the time. So I like taking Mahomes there. I think that is perfectly fine. Not too worried about the matchup. Thank you, Offsuit. Really appreciate it. I got a minute and a half left till I hit the 1 hour mark. So my understanding is after I hit 1 hour, then YouTube just going to throw so many viewers. It'll be crazy. No, I'm just trying to get some of these in, and also talking through the process kind of helps me think things out. All right. Got the 101. Now I am going to take Justin Jefferson, even though I like Saquon, because I've done a lot of these, and wait, no, not Best Ball Daily. How do I do this? Drafts completed. And I haven't gotten any Jefferson somehow. Yeah, I have one Justin Jefferson team, and it's not because I'm fading him. I just haven't. I'm taking Barkley at the 101, and so I just haven't had the 2 spot a lot, and so we're gonna take him now. How do I? Oh my god, this is really good content here. Me frantically clicking out to what? frantically clicking to try to draft my player here. All right, here we go. Justin Jefferson. Jeez Louise. Okay, so we got we got another Justin Jefferson. Yeah. Yeah, nobody wants to play Mahomes. You're 100% right. In these division games, like they can go one of two ways. You can end up with these like gross 16-13 games you want no part of, or you could end up with Bengals Ravens shootout. So I agree with you. I think Mahomes is definitely in play, and nobody wants to play him. And yeah, it completely changes the offense having D Hop there, because like clearly Worthy is just not the dude who you can give 12 targets to. Like it's just not going to work. But D Hop, he's always open. Like you can just throw him the ball, and odds are he'll sort it out. So he's, I think that's huge, and clearly, I was a little worried they were going to save Kelsey for the playoff run, and it seems like they're just kind of done with that, or maybe this is now ramping up. Right, we're already in week 10, but his target count has been climbing. So yeah, I agree. I think the Mahomes play is pretty sharp, especially at the ownership that you're going to see him at. It just seems, even in his best days, so it was frustrating because he'd spread the ball around so much, but it almost feels like this year it's condensing, right? Like I think if Rice had stayed healthy, Mahomes Rice stacks would be super popular week in, week out, and we kind of lost that. And we'll see if $5,200 D Hop on DK, he just makes a ton of sense. All right, we are almost up. So we have Jefferson. Tempted to take Debo here and just make this like a really elite wide receiver team. I know I said I was going to try not to take a Gurley and Allen teams, but for me, these late running backs, I kind of want more late running back. I've built so many early running back teams, especially being that the first round there's like five running backs out of the 6 slots, that I don't think I have quite as much of guys like here, Cook, Swift, Dobbins, Connor, Najee, even Rico Dowdle. Like I'd like to click more, probably not in this team. But he could end up being PPR scamming his way to something. It gets pretty gross down here. This is Dawg Bowl territory. We'll go back to safety, but yeah. So started Allen, Jefferson. Bring up the board. Doesn't look like anything too out of the ordinary. It is crazy to see Cade Otton being drafted at 11, considering Cade Otton was a guy that like just could not earn targets for a very long time, and now suddenly he's like our generation's Rob Gronkowski. And so this is either going to like last to the end of the year and it's going to be the year of Cade Otton, or like 2 years from now we'll be drafting best ball teams. It'd be like, remember that like 3-week stretch where Cade Otton was the guy you needed? Like, he could quickly become a remember guy. But it seems like there is definitely huge opportunity in Tampa. He's stepped up. He's earned the targets. Mayfield seems to like him. So, I don't think that's the way we're heading. But it wouldn't shock me either if Otton kind of returned to his sort of, not being the 11 overall pick here. So here we go. We've seen Kareem Hunt go. Trey McBride goes. I don't want to take Cook with Allen. And tight end. Yeah. I hate that this might be another Kincaid team. I feel like I'm forcing that, but I'm not trying to. Um, man, Swift goes. All right. I said I wanted some of these late round running backs, and now I'm like, oh God. Um, but J.K. Dobbins makes sense. If I didn't have Allen, I would be pretty happy to get Cook here. I think Najee makes a ton of sense. I like him more here than on DK, just with the half PPR. He just doesn't catch a lot of passes. I think Pittsburgh's going to try to run the ball a lot, keep the ball out of Jaden Daniels' hands, and he just reliably gets those like 20 touches, tends to get the goal line work. I was out on Harris during best ball season, and I think that was a leak. I just had this idea of him as this like plotter, and I bought a lot of the Warren hype, and that turned out not to be so great. Not to be so great. All right, 1 hour 6 minutes. 1 hour 6 minutes. So we are rolling along. I will take Kincaid. I like Taysom Hill. I like Ingram. All right, so we're going to go on autopilot here. And we will fire up a new one. I'll assume I'll get Kincaid. If I don't, then life goes on. Probably want Hunter Henry over Pitts if it really somehow gets to the fourth option. All right. We roll on. Offsuit. I did not want to say that out loud, but that's 1000% why. I absorbed so much content from them during best ball season that I have a ton of Warren because of that. I use those rankings in the big boards. So I have like 40% Abanikanda. And this was my first year really doing this, so I think I outsourced a lot of the thinking. I hold no blame for anyone but myself for anything, but it is funny when you see these things that are somewhat like industry wide, like these exposures, and it's like, yeah, you can trace them back to certain content creators and how they kind of rub off on people. But yeah, I was right there with you. Like, oh yeah, Warren's going to take over this backfield by October, and now it's like, yeah, that didn't really happen. So we got the 102. Hopefully we can get another Jefferson team here. But if not, then we'll get another Saquon team. So I will be happy. I really prefer drafting 1, 2, and 3 versus 4, 5, and 6. I'm not comfortable clicking on McCaffrey, but then I'm also not comfortable fading McCaffrey because Shanahan just can't help himself when it comes to giving CMC the ball. Maybe this time will be different, but that's sort of like the cry of the fish because it's never different. These coaches they are who they are. And I think a lot of the times we like do what say, I just can't get Jefferson. It just doesn't happen. We put on the coaches what we think they should do, and then they don't do it, and we act surprised. But alas. So yeah, so it's a really uncomfy click, and it's an even more uncomfy fade when he's sitting there at the top of the queue. But we roll on. I would love if the badge system was different for BR and for best ball, because I feel like when BR season started, the amount of badges just increased exponentially, and during best ball, it could be somewhat of a useful tool. Wasn't always dispositive of what people would or wouldn't do, but now I feel like it's just useless. Like, it's so easy to get badges, and I'm not saying this as some kind of elitist badge snob. I'm saying this as like a source of information with your other players, because there's a big difference when you're drafting best ball if someone has drafted 1,000 best ball lineups versus just they play NBA uh they play NBA battle royales nightly. Like and there's no way to know. So I think as a source of information, it was somewhat useful this past season, but I don't know if going forward um, it will be as in vogue to use that. Okay, we're not going to click Josh Allen. We just can't do it. Can't do it. Let's do Jonathan Taylor and a George Kittle. So we'll do that. Oh, you know what? I thought I was on the turn. So maybe we won't get George Kittle. We'll see. If we don't get Kittle, let's take Travis Kelce. Yeah, definitely have those Kittle concerns with CMC coming back, that his workload might dip, but not enough to dissuade me from picking him. All right, so Saquon, Taylor, Kittle, like this start. Make sure we get Kelce out of the queue so we don't get 2 tight ends, which would be bad. Man, next order of business, the music. I'm not going to do another stream until I figure out how to play music in the background, because it is so brutal. Definitely excited for the slate up so we can just enter it in everything. So I either have like a really not a sustainable way to play if you're trying to really do it. But I did get lucky a couple weeks ago. I'm still alive this year, which is always fun. And I have one lineup I really like, and I'm thinking about doing another, and I really want to do a Mac Jones lineup, but I find myself struggling to actually do anything with the salary savings he provides. And so that's always hard when you try to, like, especially just wide receivers so weird. It's like if you don't get Jefferson, it's like you're paying up, but you don't feel great about it. And you could pay up for the running backs without dipping down to Mac Jones. So what are we really doing here other than potentially taking like a really awful quarterback? That said, I think Peterson's going to let him throw. I think there's a chance that he's actually scores reasonably well. I just kind of wish I had a better plan for what to do with the savings you get from him. So I found myself really struggling. Some weeks I'm like, I could make 100 lineups and love them all. And then this week I'm sitting there like, this is pretty brutal. You should be able to play music from your computer or play in stream. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm afraid of getting those like stream taken down because I played like copyrighted music or something. You know what? We're gonna do? You inspired me with the Mahomes. Oh my God. Okay, I thought you can't take Mahomes. All right, we're gonna do a Hopkins Mahomes team. We're gonna do another one. That could be the key to the slate. And who knows? Maybe if I do a second DK lineup, it'll be a Mahomes Hopkins team. Right now, I'm pretty married to the Josh Allen Kincaid thing. It's not just a bit in the Discord. I really do think that could be a smash. And again, I literally will never mention for the rest of the year till best ball season Kincaid again if he does not score 16 full PPR points. Because this is, everything is set up for him. If he fails here, then it's truly Jover. All right, let's see. See if I can figure out some. I know it's like I I can look on YouTube and it says like, oh, copyright free, but then like, what if it's not? And then they take this stream down, and I let down all the millions and millions of future viewers. It'd be not good. But all right, here we go. Back to the screen here. All I have to do is pick a wide receiver. The one advantage of the app is it does gray out the positions that you can't take any more of, which is kind of nice. Do we make this another lad team? What are we thinking? Who are we landing the plane here with? Oh, that's gross. Where is he? Where is he? I'm gonna search him. I must have scrolled past him. Cortland Sutton. How gross is Cortland Sutton as a bringback? I mean, my God. YouTube audio library has copyright royalty-free music. Oh, all right. All right. We're going to do Cortland Sutton because we're really just going to go all in on this. And I cannot imagine people wanting to click on Cortland Sutton. We will be one of the few teams that does that. Oops. All right. YouTube audio library. All right, I'm gonna try to find this audio library YouTube. Music for content creators. All right. He has been smashing lately, and he's another guy I might have Stone Zero and 150 milli makers. I think I have some in some small contests, but I was like full fade Cortland Sutton, and I have a lot of Bonix because I for some reason thought it was a really good idea to take like Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin and say, well, Sutton's going to zero. Those guys are the future. And it's like, nope, that's not what happened. Cortland Sutton's actually pretty decent. So yeah, that's not great. Let's see. All right, this could be really bad. I'm gonna try to play some audio and see what happens. This is not enough time. Oh boy. Playlists. Oh dear God. I'm trying to get music up. All right. Oh, we are on the clock. Guys, anyone in this room? Oh, here we go. The song is called Autumn 2011. I don't recall what I was doing in autumn of 2011, but this definitely reminds me of that. All right. So we got Bijan. We can do a little Bijan, Garrett Wilson. It's so hard for me to not click Aaron Jones. I'm taking Aaron Jones. And I'm here like jamming these guys, telling myself like to stop doing that. Can you hear the music, or does it need to be louder, softer? So nothing too interesting so far. Nothing too interesting so far. The music is not playing. Wait, I need to turn it up. That was a complete failure. All right. How about now? I'm sure there's a way to like play this through YouTube Studio. If I'm actually going to do this, I'll have to get like StreamYard or something more than just the like default YouTube player. All right, so we see Kittle, Debo, again, all of these Niner players, elite Niner players go pretty early. I wish I could take CD Lamb. I just can't do it. Oh, no. This is so brutal. Like I get here and I feel like I'm just making the same bad team. Like, do I really want to make another D Hop team? It's like this is so gross. And I hate using my full time bank because I do enough of these. I shouldn't have to waste everyone's time. Um, but this is such a weird slate. Um, I think I'm just gonna do another D Hop team, right? I mean, I don't mind having a few different combinations of this. Um, Probably won't do another D Hop Sun thing, but see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think with Bijan here, this could be a good Taysom, could be a good Taysom team. Um, oh, don't worry about it. No, this is really janky. I'm literally playing the music through my laptop speaker, and then I have a microphone. But I guess the music's not loud enough, and that's probably like a terrible way to do this. Yeah, I'm trying to figure stuff out. I apologize for this being like probably one of the worst streams you've sat through. So I truly appreciate your patience here. If anything else, the music helps me not feel like a complete crazy person talking for an hour and 20 minutes straight. So yeah, so we see Hopkins goes, Brave Soul takes CD Lamb, Josh Downs for Corin. It, as I do these, it's starting to feel like you're gonna have to do something weird to win. Um, I just don't know what that is, right? Like maybe it is as simple as the Herbert lad bit, which I think we're gonna do here. Assuming this guy doesn't take Herbert. Um, if these two don't take Herbert, then I can take Lad and then auto draft Herbert, which is what we'll do. But I don't think that's going to be rare, right? Oh no, Lad goes. It's a terrible beat. All right, fine. No Lad. We will take Holmes, but I don't need to take him now because he he doesn't need a quarterback. God, who are we taking here? All right, we'll take Jordan Addison. What the heck just happened? Oh, God. All right, we took Addison. We'll take Mahomes next. Um, oh my God, I already had Aaron Jones. This team is Jover. This team is so Jover. All right, new plan. Okay, taking Sam Darnold. Well, this team is not winning. This team is not winning. I apologize for wasting your time, Mr. Offsuit. That was bad. That was real bad. All right, we go on. We go on. So brutal when that happens. At least it wasn't like a dog bowl or something. But when you just feel like you spent the time and the team is just cooked. I mean, I shouldn't say that, right? Like, if the Vikings put up 45 points, that team could get there, but it's just you're just drawing so thin. Just drawing so thin at that point. We are 1 hour, 26 minutes, 30 seconds in. How is the audio otherwise? If you don't mind me asking. All right, 7 seconds to lift off. We are the 5 seed. Oh, thank you. All right. Yeah, I got a microphone because I had this dream of doing a golf DFS podcast. Um, but then now that I have a fairly young kid, I can't commit to a specific time. It's like I get time when if he's like asleep. Um, so a couple I'd like to do it on like Tuesday or Wednesday, and there were a couple weeks where I just like couldn't do it, and I'm like, this is not great. But I do love golf DFS, even though it doesn't really love me back. Um, all right, so we have a Bijan. You know what? Let's do something weird. Let's just let's just skip this range. Let's just skip this range. We're just gonna take Kareem Hunt. We're going off the board. Um, and we'll just see if we can get a little different. I don't want to make another Bijan, Garrett Wilson, Bijan, Josh Allen team. Or Bijan, Aaron Jones. I'm doing a lot of that. And frankly, if Aaron Jones is who you need, I'm hoping I have a good week on DraftKings. Um, but yeah, got MMA starting in about 50 minutes. Um, I like to do MMA DFS also. It's one of the more fun DFS sweats, actually. Um, yeah, even if MMA is not your favorite, it makes a great DFS sport. Um, Even if the scoring metrics for MMA DFS don't always reflect like what your eye test tells you of who should score well. It rewards certain things that may not have any impact in the fight a little more than it probably should. But 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 it's not bad. It's not bad. I feel like my music might be loud here, but we shall see. All right, so we have um, nothing too off the board. Travis Kelce goes, George Kittle goes. Um, Again, the elite Niner pieces all gone before the 2-3 turn. Devontae Adams goes. It's so crazy to me that Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams go in the rounds 2 and 3. Sometimes Wilson goes in round 1, and then Nobody wants Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers goes like undrafted all the time. It's a little weird. You know what? I have like no Jalen Hurts. Why do I have no Jalen Hurts? Let's fix that. Let's take a Hurts team. I think Devontae's good, right? No injury designation. All right, wheels up on Devonta Smith. We'll take him. I should probably be taking more Hurts teams. Again, like I said earlier, it's hard for me to take Brown when he was free early. Um, but we'll see. I'll try to mix in some more of those teams. But in the ideal world, he does not take Devonta here, or this is bad. All right, get Devonta Smith. Yeah, should be a reasonable path for Philly to succeed here. Um, Possible blowout risk, possible bad game script, but hopefully Devonta gets there before then, if that is indeed how this plays out. But very often we are not as good at predicting game script as we think we are. And so I think blowout risk can get you off of good plays more often than it saves you from bad ones. So I try not to worry about that too much, especially if I'm going to MMA here. I don't think I would do Hurts Devonta with my single entry, although I'm sure that's actually pretty good leverage off of what people are doing. Um, and we've seen like Sirianni I think he thinks it's hilarious to give Jalen Hurts those 1 yard touchdowns. I don't know what it is. It's like people just fall down at the one for the Eagles more than like any other franchise in recorded history. Um, like people didn't think DeAndre Swift would score because it was like he'd get to the half-yard line and it's like one of those electric dog fences. He would just like go down. It's like there would be no one in front of him and he would go down. I don't understand. But anyway, as a Hurts rosterer, I don't mind that too much. So let's see. So we have Hurts. My favorite bringback is probably Rico Dowdle. But we can't get it. But Jake Ferguson. Not to get Collinsworthy, but here's a guy that, you know, I know he's going to have Cooper Rush, but, with the saying, like, oh, rookies, backup quarterbacks love their tight end. So I think this Jake Ferguson as a scroll down option makes a lot of sense. I like the fall in D-Hop here. Oh, I see, I already have Hunt. I don't want Hunt in D-Hop. I almost did it again. I almost ruined a good team. Who do we want? I'll take Addison as redemption for the Addison team I kind of messed up. I'll take him here, and then hopefully end up with Ferguson. And if no Ferguson, then we'll do Taysom. But yeah, I like this team here. We get a nice Jalen Hurts, Devonta. We get a little different with our Minnesota piece, two possibly elite running backs, and a guy that's could really come through. Even with Cooper Rush, who wasn't horrible when called upon, I think a couple of years ago. So not a bad scroll down option at tight end, especially with it almost seems like some weeks people love scrolling at tight end, and this week um, I feel like I haven't seen people scroll quite as much as they have. Waiting for two. See if we get any famous people in here. 3:17 p.m. on a Saturday. All right, we are full up. Yeah, there's a Magikarp again. This guy must 150 max. I feel like I see him so much. We get the five spot. Yeah, early in the week, I just kept getting the one spot, and this last run, a lot of fives and sixes. All right, 7 seconds to lift off. We will see. Does he go Jefferson or Saquon? Because I have just the flippening is happening. Jefferson will flip Saquon by Sunday morning, is my prediction. There he goes. Jefferson, 101. Right, Jefferson, then Saquon. Two no Badgers in here. CMC goes three. Not going to make the CMC to the no Badger, but they're presented without comment. But no, I mean it's so hard to pass CMC like ever if he's to you on a draft of any format where scoring points is a good thing because you know oh Kamara at 5, that is excellent. I love Kamara this week. Definitely like him more than Bijan. I have no idea who the Saints are going to throw the ball to. Olave, unfortunately, he might be out the rest of the season, which sucks because I really like Olave. Um, I'll take a Garrett Wilson here. That's fine. Take Garrett Wilson. Um, yeah, I mean the Saints. Who are they going to throw to? It's like Mason Tipton now. I think is now their number one wide receiver. We know. Um, we know Carr loves throwing to Kamara. I mean, what did he get last week? Like he got like 35 touches or something insane. I don't see any reason that fails. Um, I don't know that they'll get blown out by the Falcons. It doesn't seem. I think the game will remain competitive enough for Kamara to just get there. Love him on TK. It's so hard to pass Kamara in full PPR because he literally can just get there on volume alone, and then if he scores a touchdown or has any kind of like mediocre efficiency, he'll just be able to take a smash. Um, and then even in half point PPR, like I think he's such a good play this week. Right, Kareem Hunt, nice and early, 13 there. People, let's move it up. Rightly so, right? I mean, he's getting there. And as someone who took a ton of Pacheco in best ball, it's not surprising because this is such a good role. Um, it is. It's nice to see for Hunt. I mean, it seems like he's put in the work, and I'm happy for the guy. I do wish, however, it was Isaiah Pacheco smashing as the RB1 for Kansas City Chiefs. This will actually likely be my last draft. I can see my son waking up slowly from his slumber. I will take Josh Allen this far past ADP. I think this is great. I really like Allen Kamara, Garrett Wilson. No complaints with this start. Offsuit, thank you. I really appreciate you hanging out, and thanks, man. It's awesome. All right, so we continue. A Magic Carp is up. He's gone double RB to start. He went Brees Hall and Aaron Jones. Makes a certain amount of sense. Goes Debo next. Then Travis Kelce. Let us take. We're going to take DeAndre Swift here. You know what? No, we're not. We're going to take James Conner here. We're going to take James Conner as our bring back to Garrett Wilson. I'll find another wide receiver I like, and then end the stream with Dalton Kincaid. And once again, thanks to anyone who dropped by. Thanks to anyone who is watching this later. Hopefully, I can keep doing this. This won't be my last stream because it is somewhat fun. And yeah, I love this stuff. This is always fun to do. So let's check out the wide receiver situation. I mean, I think I just take George Pickens. I don't think Magic Carp's going to go too tight end, and if he does, it's not going to be naked Dalton Kincaid, right? Like he doesn't. That wouldn't make any sense at all. So all right, well we will take our guy Pickens, and then if no Kincaid, then Taysom Hill. Who goes Brock Purdy? Yeah, Magic Carp. This guy builds good teams, right? He stacks Purdy and Kittle. He's got Hall, Aaron Jones, Travis Kelsey. But let's see who he ends with. Again, this is the kind of thing you can do if you see like a sharp player, like stick around, like pay attention, see who they're taking as they're scrolled as Pete would say, scroll the F down guy. I'm sure he's. Yeah, I know he's taking wide receiver, but let's see. Yeah, he takes Lad, right? Like a lot of these sharp guys are taking Lad as their scroll down option. So with that, thank you for joining. Hope to do this again, and good luck this weekend.